Hello everybody, my name is Farmer Phil and today we are going on a crop watch. Well, it's a Sunday evening, so we're just going to check how the crops are doing, and as the title has suggested, show you what the drought has done to us, done to the crops. So I'm just inserting this into the start of the video because I was supposed to say it when I was starting the video, but I didn't. I forgot. I remembered it when I had finished making the video. Anyways, so I'm just inserting this here into the video at the beginning. I was supposed to say it at the start, but I completely forgot about it till I was walking home there. I was like, oh, I forgot to say it. Anyways, competition time. There's a competition. We're after buying another tractor. Yes, we did. Don't ask me how, but we managed it. We bought another one, another Massey. That's the only hint you're getting. What Massey did we buy? I'm not giving you any other information. I haven't put a snap nor mention. Literally nobody knows what we're after buying, and I will be so impressed if anyone can get this right, because it is, I would think it's quite left field. Like it wouldn't be something that a lot of people would think that we would be buying, but I'm not giving you any more information. But we have bought another Massey tractor. So yeah, if anyone gets it right, or the first person that guesses it right, I will buy ye a no school like old school t-shirt. That's what I'll do. Whatever size you are, I'll pay for it, get sent out to you, to whoever guesses it right. And I will be very impressed if anyone gets it right, because of all the masses that could be bought, it's not something I thought we'd ever be buying. But yeah, we did buy another one, and that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to give you any more information. Don't ask me when it's coming. I'll announce the winner when we do get the tractor, and I made my video about the tractor coming and yada yada yada. But yeah, I don't know when it's coming, so if no one gets it right by the time I upload Thursday's video, I might give you a bit more of a hint, and so forth and so on until someone gets it right. But yeah, quite a left field option. I'd be very impressed if anyone can get it right. But anyways, we'll jump back into the rest of the video. So we're just at the minute, we're walking through our field of wheat at home, the top field. The sun is just a bit glary. We'll turn our back now. You may be saying, yeah, there's wheat and there's barley, and it's all headed out. This is spring wheat. Now my father isn't over sure exactly how we managed to get barley into it. There's no barley in the middle of the field over there, but the headland and then all that side of the field has some barley in it. So he's quite sure that there must have been a bit of barley in one of the wheat bags, or there was some mix up of some description, and hence we got some wheat in it. So we'll try and catch up with them. I'll probably pop the drone up there and there'll be some overlay shots of drone footage. I'll only be doing it on the ones where I videoed filming. Like this field here is where my sister did the ploughing, and where I went harrowing with the 3690. So just to give you an idea, you know, later on, the next stage of it on. So it is what day is today? The 21st of June, and the longest day of the year. And so yeah, we'll catch up with my father and uncle and see what they have to say about the crop. It's a bit thin of itself. It's not over thick. There is actually a few weeds in it, some poison nightshade, quite a lot of nightshade in that. It's not nightshade. What is it? Proshuk. Huh? Cleavers. Yeah, you can see it's quite dirty with weeds, but it's not very thick. You can see the head out. Not an over big head. No. So it's not.
It's a crop.
Yeah.
Oh, have to do. Very weather. Just didn't see rain for 9 weeks after sowing. 8 weeks.
8 weeks. 8 weeks after sowing. Yeah. That's very early for heading out, isn't it?
No.
Or be about right?
Alright. Alright, it's short.
Yeah. It's short and the head is small.
It's short and thin from there.
Anyways, that's the first bit of stuff to look at. So yeah, That's our crop of wheat, and whatever happened that there was barley in one part of the field.
Barley came in a bag of seed.
It come in a bag of seed, or was
Half-ton bag of seed.
it was in the half-ton bag?
It was mixed into the barley, into the wheat seeds. That was, I only scored scoop of the wheat in it.
Yeah.
I run out somewhere here. In the next bag of seed, and that was it over there.
Yeah.
And the headlands. Headlands blasted, sowed.
So what's left to be done with this crop now?
Oh, we'll put a
fungicide.
A head spray on it in about 10 days time.
Yeah.
Not spend too much on it, no.
No, a great crop. Yeah. Right, we'll go on to the next crop. So here we are at the next bit. This is the second bit to be sowed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Barley. There's a good length to the head there. So there is. Good length to the old head. That's a good crop.
Yeah. Oh, it's a good crop, barley, yeah.
Yeah.
Looking right there.
Good clean and thick. And a nice, decent sized head on it.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be a good crop for combine.
Yeah. That's one of the things now with how the drought has affected some of the crops. Our original plans for what we wanted to hold crop and cut dry and crimp, it's kind of up in the air. So we won't be calling what we're going to cut till nearer the time to see how everything kind of fits in and what the crops are like, or alike. Just how the year has played out. So we're just out in our another crop of barley. This is actually where we did the mini till, where we shook out the straw and I hired it back in with the 3690 and 4 cuts, and it is a fantastic crop. Just look how dense and thick the crop is. Like, it's a huge crop of barley. It's just incredibly dense, and like, you look down there, there's not a weed nor a thing in it. So it is, and it's just starting to head out, or ear emergence. You can see the awns of the barley, the beard of the barley just starting to poke out. Oh no, that's a huge crop.
Damper ground.
Yeah. Even though it is stonier ground and sandier ground than some of it.
Damper.
Yeah.
Go
back to the gap.
Huge crop in this. So anyways, yeah, this is the one where we did the mini till, shook out the straw and hired it in, and it come right, so it did come fierce well. So we'll move on and we look at the oats just on the other side of the hedge next. So there's a bit of barley in this.
Tiny, because the first ones were tough.
Just to get it out of the seeder.
Yeah, I wasn't bothered. I was only a bucketful in it.
Yeah.
I wasn't even a bucketful.
So we're in our crop of oats now. You can see it's just starting to head out there. You can just see it there. I have the drone in one hand, so I can't really point out hen, but fantastic crop of stuff in this compared to last year. Last year there was a lot of, down that end of the field was covered in grass, and that end of the field was in grass, and it was a bit messy. But this year got a great hit of stuff in it. It's a little bit on the thin side, is it?
Yeah, it's the weather. It's the weather.
Yeah.
Dry weather.
Yeah, it's the drought. It's affected nearly all the crops. Different areas, like in this field where we are now is in a bit of a dry area, but to go down there or go down into that corner, you're into a lot more wetter ground, and it wouldn't affect the crop as much as it did here, where it's just that bit lighter. But compared to last year, there's a fantastic crop on this. Fantastic crop. So, yep, that's those. What's left to do with those then? Just they're all the same here. Head spray.
One spray now in about 10 days.
Yeah, it's all head spray, and then after that the last spray will be the roundup when we go for combining.
Whenever it's for combining.
Yeah, that's it. The reason we round up for combining is so that the crop dies off and ripens evenly, and so we can bale the straw practically straight after the combine. That's why we use Roundup. Otherwise, crop doesn't ripen evenly. You get green grains and you can have straw that isn't fully dead, and you have to be reared. And with the way Irish weather is and very unreliable, you can very often you won't just get it right. Either straw will be damp or your grain moisture will be too high. So we'll leave it at that. But fantastic crop here, fantastic. Well, you can see now we're in damper ground down here, and it's that bit thicker. It's just whatever way the land lies. 6 5 10. So here we are in our next bit of ground, another crop of spring barley. I can't remember to actually say the last crop we looked at was spring oats. We don't have any winter crops, it's all spring crops. Just how the back end last year was, we didn't get any winter crops in, and probably a good thing too, because of the wet February we'd had would have destroyed them. And as you just seen there, we were after moving bulls while we were in here on this farm, and they'll be making a bit of a ruckus there after being moved. But anyways, this is, you may remember, this is another crop of mini till, where the 3690 I harrowed, where there was the, oh, what do you call it, where the rape had gone to flower in the bottom of this field and other field. And yeah, that's just what it is. It's a nice crop. It's just heading out. There's a nice decent head on it. It's not as thick as the sand pit, but it's a decent crop all the same. Decent crop now. So that's it. Why are we looking at anything else, or? That's it, right? So yeah, we'll look at the quarry field, and that's everything. That's everything I videoed anyways. So we'll go look at the next crop, and I'll just pop the drone out there before we leave. So now we're back at the house, looking at another crop of spring barley. We call it the quarry field. Again, all the crops are just, they're at that stage where ear emergence, heading out, shooting as we call it. Just starting to come out. It's, we get out into it a bit, always around the gaps into fields where you have compaction. You always get a light, thinner crop. We go out into the field a bit, see what it's like. It's a good tall crop there anyways. It's above my knee. So which is a good decent big head of grain on it coming out. And it's good. It's good and it's thick. It's not as good as the sandpit.
Right.
No, sandpit is a lot thicker. Another clean crop, but yeah, that's really it. Walk on and look at the wheat in the other field, and I suppose we'll just have a quick look at the vegetable garden while I'm here, and we'll finish off the video at that. But yeah, just another crop of barley. So we're just out beside our garden in our crop of wheat. This is a much thicker crop of wheat than that's on the very first place we looked, on top of the hill, and there's no barley in this one. So it hasn't started to head out yet, and it's not the best crop of wheat in the world, but it's the best that we have. And actually, just on wheat, when we were sowing, we wanted to sow more wheat, but we couldn't get wheat seed. It wasn't there to be got. It was actually a case of the wheat seed we got was what was left over from other farmers in the co-op, or the place we buy our seed and our sprays. It was what was left over is what we got from other farms, and it did the job for us. We got 2 fields in, and the original plan was to crimp these because crimped wheat is a great feed, but I don't know what we're going to do. As I said, just with the drought, with the drought, this 8-9 weeks of no rain, it's changed all the crops. Just a general summary of the crops: they're shorter, some of them are quite a bit thinner than normal, and they're heading out earlier. Now we didn't get to look at Coal Hill, which is where I would have videoed the 6499 Harrowan, and that's a shocking poor crop, shocking poor thin crop. And half of the field is thin, the other half is a decent crop. We don't really know why. It's every year it seems to be just a middling out crop, and it probably wants a lot of dung or farmyard manure or compost, anything at all brought to it to try and build up the soil a bit. Might do a lot for it. And the other 2 crops then we didn't see, in Newtown Cashel, crops of oats, and I haven't seen them, but I'm told they're good crops. They're decent crops. So all in all, our crops, one with another, it's not too bad a year. If you averaged out our good with our bad, I'd say we have a decent. We won't be too bad off in comparison. Darty, you hear stories of the farmers in Dublin and Meath and that, and the crops just decimated with the drought, absolutely decimated. So in them regards, we're not going to be too bad. Straw yield is going to be back because the crop has stayed short, and our grain yield is going to be back, between heads being shorter because of the drought and some of the crops being thinner. But what can you do? It's the year. If it was the other way and it was wet, we'd have parts of fields wouldn't grow, like there'd be a square down there wouldn't grow, and in other fields there'd be squares that wouldn't grow. It's just how it is. What can you do about it? But anyways, well, before we leave it at that, we'll just have a quick look at our vegetable garden. So our potatoes, so you may notice it's just starting to see, I kind of see a few flowers starting to bud on that now, but you can see there's great big potatoes, and then there's all these little potato plants, and that wasn't intentional. But when we because some of the potatoes we planted had sprouted before we planted them, and we assume in the process of planting them some of the sprouts got knocked off, and then they had to re-sprout, and it took them longer to grow, hence they're the smaller ones. And it was patchy for a while, but it's thickened up. There's a nice lovely crop of stuff on it. We I think 2 weeks ago now, we re-drilled the drills with the planter. It's literally, you just run the drillers back in the rows to just shove up more soil and clean the weeds out of it. And when the potato comes like that and fills the drills over, it outcompetes all the weeds. Our beans, which are here, now we did have some trouble. Some of our beans didn't grow, and we had to sow another few. That's why there's a couple of small ones there, but the beans there you can see are flowering. Our beetroot here is doing well. Our many rows of peas, same with the peas. We had, wait, no, they're beans, they're runner beans. There's the peas, they're broad beans in that line. They're runner beans, and there's our peas. Now our peas was similar as well. Some of them didn't germinate, and we had to sow in a couple more just to fill in the empty spaces, just with that bit of frost that came. Set the thing back, that late frost we got. Peas are doing well. On the other side then we have our cabbages. Now the cabbages that you see in this line, actually there's more than just cabbages. There's broccoli and cauliflower, but them larger plants, now there's quite a lot of weeding needs to be, I didn't actually realize it was that bad, but yeah, there's quite a bit of weeding to be done. These are cabbages that we bought and planted, and there's broccoli and cauliflower that we planted as well. And then some of these little smaller ones are the ones that we transplanted, that we sowed. And our onions and shallots there. Our lettuce, we have a huge garden of lettuce. It's amazing. So it is, it's just like a maha lettuce, so an absolute maha lettuce. So yeah, we've carrots and parsnips up here, and more beetroot, and we have pumpkins. These are, you can see them plants there. There's actually quite a lot of them. I didn't realize we had as many pumpkin plants, but pumpkins that we sowed inside. You can see them there, there's quite a lot of them. We transplanted them all outside, give them more space. But anyway, that is it from me. I'll stop ranting and raving. You have had a look at the garden. I showed you the crops. We've talked a bit about how the drought has affected us. But with the recent rain that's fallen, everything's starting to green up again. Some of the nitrogen hadn't got washed into hadn't been absorbed by the crop, is still sitting on the ground, so that'll be going into the crop, so it should help everything along. So anyways, that is it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed having a look at our crops, and I hope that your own crops didn't suffer too much from the drought. It's quite bad. I know too well what it's like when crops fail and everything just goes arseways when it comes to crops. So I know far too well. But anyways, that is it from me. If you have any comments, anything like that, as always, leave me down in the comments down below. Merchandise and that, just all my stuff it's in the description. PayPal link, merchandise, all of that. And what I'm supposed to say at the beginning of the videos, I upload videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. So make sure to ring that little bell so you get notified when they come out. Please hit the subscribe button, and that is it from me. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Good luck.